recording. Okay, welcome back to the channel, guys. This is big big ticket items. Oh Lord, I'm forgetting. Sunday dish, big picture item. I'm sorry. Okay, so anyway, based on the title of the video, you'll see, you guys will see the title of the video. Yeah, there are a few individuals who believe that, and I quote, you got to take your lumps with your education. Meaning kindness and being peaceful and sharing information and knowledge out of a spirit of love is not the way to go. I was teased and ridiculed mercilessly for telling people to be kind in the larger groups. This is when I first started studying, 2-3 years ago, whenever I started, and I started studying in the groups. I joined a bunch of different groups, and I saw people being eviscerated just for asking a question. That's why
It's
you
tough being new.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's a dog-eat-dog world.
And it was just horrible to see it and to witness it and to experience it, right? And I had enough of that, and I left, and that's way back when I first started the Iron Group, because I wanted to get away from that nonsense. I don't feel like you have the right to demean anyone just because you have more experience or more knowledge, in a certain path. That doesn't give you the right to talk down to people. But apparently that had been the only way that this had been operating. I don't know for how long, but I'm gonna tell you something right now. Don't talk to me any kind of way. I got into so many heated discussions because you're not going to talk to me any kind of way. You're not going to talk down to me just because I'm asking you a question. That God complex or superior, that I call that the Napoleon complex, because you must have some kind of issue if you feel you have to be you have some superior knowledge and to have to be mean spirited about the delivery. I just couldn't take it anymore, and I just left the groups. And that's why 9 times out of 10, I'm barely in any other groups, because I see that that's still kind of like the way.
That's very prevalent in a lot of groups. I actually experienced it myself. I'm sarcastic, you know what? And sometimes I forget that, like, if I say something, people might take it literally because it's in text, so you can't hear my sarcasm.
Right, the intonation.
So, like, I had put up a post of something, and I got like this crazy backlash. Like, all I said in there was that I was going to be moving, right? It was a joke, but then they're like, "Oh, you're going to abandon your country and your servicemen and your people. Like, where did you get that idea?" Like, wow, calm down, friend. I don't know why you're so hostile, but it was a joke. I never said I was leaving the country, and I don't know why I'm being attacked for no good reason, but it still happens, and it happens to even those of us who know what we're talking about. So if you're new, expect it, but you don't have to deal with it. This was not an Iron Sharpens Iron, by the way. This was not from our group at all. But it is still prevalent. And I think that, that type of attempt to belittle someone is a very good demonstration of character. So whether you're new or into this for a long time, I would say if someone demonstrates their character in that way, that it's likely they don't have good intentions, and maybe their advice might not be the kind of advice you need. So if you're dealing with somebody who has this, I guess, godlike complex in all things righteous, just say no. Just say no. And we don't deal with that, do we?
No, I just, it boggles the mind that someone thinks that way and thinks that it's okay, and to actually come out and say, well, yeah, you got to take your lumps. No, I don't. You don't have to be disrespectful with sharing your information, and it's just unacceptable. And so I didn't accept it anymore. And behind the scenes, truth be told, I lost a lot of connections that way, just in trying to grow and learn. I was networking, reaching out to different people, asking questions and stuff like that. And as soon as the conversation turned that way, peace, I was out. You're not going to talk to me any kind of way just because you have information that I happen to, desire from you.
That you can look up in a book.
Right. Right.
I'll take my lumps from the painful couple of hours of reading instead of from the verbal abuse. Thanks, but no thanks. Appreciate it though.
It was
appreciate the military style punishment. I don't know what that.
Yeah, it's crazy that it's still happening, and it's sad that people still tolerate it, but you don't have to, and you should never have to, be spoken to in a manner that's disrespectful just because you're studying and just because you don't know. No one deserves to be talked that way. So that's why, if you are interested in learning law, studying, researching, join the family. It's a free study group, and that kind of behavior is there.
You lost your sound. You have frozen, my friend. I can't hear you.
Yeah, I just saw the connection. It's been raining, so the connection is acting up. But am I back?
You're back.
Oh, okay. Okay, so
I kind of figure, how do you see that? I can't tell if it doesn't tell me on my computer.
Oh yeah, no, it flashes me. It'll say connection disrupted. It'll flash on my screen. I'll get like a little error message right across the screen there. But yeah, that's pretty much the message, the entire message for this recording. Guys, I don't understand why you would tolerate that or initiate that kind of interaction. It's unacceptable for me. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm higher than anybody else. I don't feel like
I've never, in all this time, I've never felt compelled to lash at someone who had a question or lash out at someone who felt a certain way. I like debate. I like challenges to whatever it is that I'm saying in a respectful way, though. You can have a nice conversation about, what it is as far as your difference in belief.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes people get way angry and, I don't know, unreasonable to me. And I just don't do business like that. So I won't work with you if you feel compelled to show some sort of sense of self-superiority and power over people. That's kind of exactly opposite of what we're supposed to be representing. No can do. And, for those of you out there who are learning and come across someone who is acting that kind of way, understand that Law 101, land, air, water. You can only invoke all power if you have fire. You have to have all four elements. So if they can spark that fire in you, meaning they can invoke your emotion, it also means they've taken power over you. Don't really want to be that guy. And you know what? Just because you're learning doesn't mean you don't have power. And just because you're learning doesn't mean you have to convey your power over to someone else. So especially somebody who has a tendency to abuse power. So just say no to that if you come across it. I hope you understand that message clearly, and you'll never get that from Anne or I've never seen Anne behave that way in the time that I've known you for a while now. It's like I don't recall you ever responding to someone in that tone ever. And again, like I said, if you don't take any other advice from me ever, if anyone treats you that way because they disagree with what you're saying or don't understand what you're saying, or if you're asking a question and they feel this compelling reason to trample on you, that's not somebody that has good intent. Just don't even, go somewhere else. Find someone who does have good intent. There are plenty of, and like I said, iron sharpens iron. I've not seen anyone treat each other that way, and usually, it's not like I've never seen it, but usually Anne is on top of that. Pretty good too. You did a good job.
Yeah, thank you. And now that we are, growing, by leaps and bounds, I think now we're at like a little over 1,600 group members. I taken it, upon myself to just, ask a couple people to help moderate, the group so that, and so they have that understanding too, that just because you have, the position, as a group, because her and I, Trey and we are the only two admins, right? But as far as moderators, don't take that, and let that, power and authority go to your head. It doesn't give you license to demean. It just means that you are there to help keep the peace and basically, issue out a warning. Now, a lot of people like to issue out a very stern warning, but that's fine. That's all good, well, and fine. But just know that if you are a member of the Iron, Sharpens Iron group, we want you to know that it's okay to disagree, to agree to disagree. Just walk away, let cooler heads prevail, and come back and re-engage. But there's no need to belittle just because someone is disagreeing with your opinion or your idea or your path or whatever it is that you're trying to do. We're all grown people here. We don't need to be bashing and taking this way back
except on YouTube videos. On YouTube videos, if you want to bash me, I welcome it, love it, because me, like I said, I'm more confrontational and I enjoy debate. But in benefit to Iron Sharpens Iron, the more you comment, the more I can provoke you to comment, the better our views are going to be. Because the more comments that we get inside of our little videos, it puts us like in an algorithm with other, more people to watch. So don't stop there. If you want to be abusive, abuse me. I'm all for it. In the comment section on Facebook only. That's the only time you get a pass on that. Because I want the algorithms. So you're welcome to say what you need to say.
Yeah, it takes a village, so go right ahead. You want to make a comment. I don't respond to the negativity. I'm just let you guys know.
I do. We'll keep that thread going for the next year because it's going to keep boosting my videos. Love it.
Yeah, YouTube likes that, so comment away. But I would prefer that you give positive reinforcement, positive comments. But if you feel the need to say something, just know that I am not going to respond. She might respond, but I just read it and just skip. You won't even get a little heart thingy from me. I'm just going to skip it. But basically, just know that there's a place, for you if you want to learn in a calm, generous, kind environment. Come on over. I'll leave the link for the group. It's a free study group. Come on in. You don't have to accept that abuse. I've been there, done that. It's been a hell of a journey.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just men too, by the way. I wanted to make that very clear. It was women too. It was madness from both sides. It was just ridiculous. Now I will admit it was the majority of the time the abusers were men. Right, with this complex and I'm a man, you're a woman, stay in your place type of mentality.
Tarzan, you Jane.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it was a free for all. It was a few women who they felt that same egotistical attitude too. So it's not just men. I want to make that very clear. But yeah, I'm not going to take pretty much. I'm an equal opportunity type of woman. I'm not going to take it from either one. I just didn't. And so that's why I ended up having to just like, what, screw this. I don't need this group. And I started my own. That's way back when I started Iron Sharpens Iron, because I was like, this is crazy. What is happening here? It felt like junior high school. It was absolute insanity. Like, aren't we all in the same boat? Aren't we all on the same side?
Actually, no. Here's the thing, and this is another thing to be alert to, is that there are demonstration projects where people are paid to, and don't take my word for it, you can look it up. They're paid to go and study social media groups. So when you're dealing with someone who's aggressive or somebody who's being really weird and trying to invoke,
confrontational.
They're trying to provoke you to say something. It's because what they're trying to do is conduct a research study and determine if you fit a class of persons or if your group fits into a class. So that's another issue that you're dealing with out there, which is kind of crazy. I know it sounds nuts, but you can look it up. Don't take my word for it. It's called the Demonstration Project. They are paid with federal funds in a program setting in order to research social media settings. Look it up. I swear to God.
Gather the data and they turn it in as a field report, and you're just feeding into it, you know. So if you wouldn't say it to you know, someone in person, don't say it on social media. Don't type it. Don't come at them that way, you know, because that's
yeah. And if someone does come at you that way, cut them at the knees and get them off your Facebook page, because again, you don't know if it's somebody who has emotional problems anyway, and they're not going to help you. If they do, they're only going to send you into the same emotional bad frame of mind and state. So
yeah.
Disconnect.
Really quickly, we do have a post in the group called the Hall of Shame, so that if you want to know some of the characters who are abusers, they are in that post under comments, because all of us are encouraged to expose, you know, these kind of shady, janky type of people that, you know, like to abuse people. I put all of my abusers in there, so you just go right in there.
I might have to add to that. I didn't even realize that was in there.
Yeah, we have
that. I think some of these people change their names though.
Yeah, and then they rejoin under new profile. So,
yeah.
but the good news is the truth endures, and they can never continue to pretend forever. Inevitably, their true nature comes to the surface anyway, because one guy, he came back in as 5 different profiles, but he can't help himself. He can't help who he is. So he was ousted 5 times, like 5 times. So it's all right if they
like I said, I think those are the ones, the individuals who are conducting research. I don't think those are real people.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah,
you know.
like, so, you know, you can provoke them back to expose them in about 10 seconds. It is really easy to provoke them to show their true colors. It is so simple. So if you feel that somebody in the group might be that kind of guy, point him out to me. I'll expose him real quick. We had a cop in the group. I told you. And as soon as I started saying things about, you know, police secrets, he exposed himself pretty good. Like I didn't have to say much of anything else before he just lost his shit. You know, they are very loyal to each other. And you can't talk bad about them, because if you do, it is difficult for them to contain that defensive stance.
Yeah. Oh, he went off. I'm talking about went off. Yeah, it was interesting, but you know, as long as you conduct yourself in a friendly, peaceful manner, you are fine amongst, you know, the scalawags out there, because they're gonna come. We can't prevent them on, you know, on social media. They're going to infiltrate. That's what they do. They're gonna come.
Yeah, you have to have some wisdom.
Yeah,
you know, your boundaries. You know.
Absolutely, you'll be safe. You'll be just fine interacting with them, because they inevitably will reveal their true colors. They will. They can't help it. Haters gonna hate. That's what they do. Trollers are gonna troll. That's what they do. But don't get sucked into it. You know, just, you know.
Yeah, and you can find that you can provoke and actually gather a bunch of them up, like, you know, like kind of like a cockroach trap, by posting very specific things.
Yes.
So anything sovereignty, sovereign citizen, woo, that will pull them out like crazy. Like that, you just mention it, and then they're gonna say something about your, you know, a status as being an American or being a citizen. That it is like, it's like a roach trap. They can't even resist. They cannot resist. They want to hear more. And you'll see that it's not just a discussion, like, oh, you know what, I looked at this, what does this mean? That's a discussion. Right. These people will literally lose their mind, like, how dare you say, or you don't know what you're talking about. Did you not know about this? It's an imposition, not a discussion. Right. So this is kind of how, you know, put the roach trap up, and they can check in, but they can't check out.
they will immediately be ousted from the group because there is zero tolerance for personal attacks. So the other side of this is, anyone who is posting, please try to post from your own personal experience. There's really just no need for you to bolster yourself so that and at the same time attack someone. That's kind of like a sleight of hand type of attack. Trying to put somebody else down. You don't have to attack someone else to make yourself, to bolster yourself. You see what I'm saying? It's like, you don't have to say, oh, but they did this and they did this and they don't know what they're talking about. No. Stay right here within your frame about you and about your life and about your experience. You don't have to attack or put someone else's process down to bolster yourself or bolster your sense of knowledge. I see that a lot too in the other groups, not in Iron. I'm just talking about my experience in the other groups. Yeah.
Etiquette. Just today I had someone ask me if I would be willing to confer and meet with someone that I don't have the same sort of shared ideas with. Mm-hmm. So I'm not attacking what that person does. This is how I handle it personally. Yeah. Here's the thing. I said, no, I don't wish to have contact with that person. I don't wish to confer with that person because his ideas and my ideas don't really meet in the middle. So there's just no reason for me to waste his time, and there's no reason for me to waste mine. We're on a different level of thinking. So this is how I usually handle it, as opposed to saying, oh, well, I don't want to deal with that, whatever he put out thing. I don't do that. I might talk a little bit to Anne about it more, but in public, just, etiquette. Just, I don't like what someone thinks or don't agree with what they think in a way that's offensive to me. I won't be rude about it. I just, we don't have the same shared ideas. There's nothing wrong with that. That's perfectly fine. They have to share ideas.
Right. You don't have to meet eye to eye. If you're too far apart on an opinion, then agree to disagree and just leave it right there. There's no need to call names and reduce yourself to, that's junior high stuff, people. Like, come on, let's keep that out of, that nonsense out of the group, and let's just, coexist, peacefully, and let's create something great together. Finally, one final thought, for at least for me anyway, is I was told that this manner of sharing, in a kind, peaceful, loving manner, that manner, that it would never work. And I was actually discouraged vehemently.
Why would it never work? Was there
don't even start the group. When I was talking about, this was before, because I kept saying, to the people that I had started networking with, and I was calling and I was talking to them, and I was like, I can't stand the rudeness and the nastiness, and it's just horrible. It's just too much hate. I can't deal with the negativity while I'm trying to learn. And I'm thinking about starting my own group, but in the new group that I want to start, I don't want to have any of this allowed in it. Oh, it would never work. Don't even do it. Don't even waste your time. People, that's when I heard for the first time, you got to take your lumps. That's when I heard that for the first time. You got to take your lumps, and you just got to grow tough skin. No. And, it's never going to work. I was discouraged. It was never going to work. Well, I'm happy to say that 1,600 members later, it seems to be working just fine. People want to be treated with dignity and respect.
And why shouldn't they be? Give me a reason why they shouldn't be, and I'll shut up.
Exactly. Prove me wrong. Well, I think that we prove them wrong, because people are joining, and people are happy, and people are engaged. And anytime there's a little, someone that kind of goes off into the fray, they're ousted, because we don't need all that discontent and that discourse. We don't want it. We don't need it. If you want to share and you have great information to share in a respectful manner, have at it. But yeah, I was told, frankly and point blank, no, it's never going to work.
Well, contrary to that thought, I guess it's working okay.
I guess it's working fine. So, the haters going to hate. They're going to come after me, and which they have been, by the way, but they have been thoroughly ignored, because I don't have time for it. So that's pretty much it. You want a friendlier, more peaceful environment to learn and study and grow, you found what you've been looking for. I'll put the
And for those of you who like to take your lumps, or to, I guess to give lumps would be more like toughen people up.
Yeah.
Militarize these people.
By beating people up.
This is the group for you.
This is just not for you. This is not for you. So
wrong venue.
I'm not pointing out any names. I don't want to like bash anybody, but
everybody knows they exist. You don't have to point out names.
Exactly. So but by the way, to counter the negative posts in terms of the Hall of Shame, I did feel compelled to create the Hall of Fame for people who are kind, like providers that you work with, and they were kind and very, respectful. So we have that. So there's the Hall of Fame for the good guys and the Hall of Shame for the bad guys who are just insane, and you don't need to be sharing anything with them or interacting with them, and you damn sure don't need to make them your provider of anything. They don't deserve your time or your energy. Period.
Yeah, anybody who's easily rushed to anger, where there is no personal attack, it's just talking about generalized ideas and law and things like that. That always should raise a red flag. If someone is quick to spark into anger, I always say to myself, like, it could end up dangerous. I mean, people, when they are easily angered over nothing, imagine if something happens. Imagine if they feel personally or take personally something you say, then you're gonna be facing a fire, and why? You got enough on your plate. There's no time for that. There's just no time for that nonsense. So thank you, fiery bulls, but no thank you. Stay in your lane.
Yeah, and be coming with it. I see that now that we have started to grow, a lot of those names have started to join again, because I don't block.
Why do they want to join?
I don't know, but some names are back. I'll point them out to you off camera, but some names are back. Like literally yesterday, I saw like 3 names from Blast from the Past, and I'm like, oh, you're back.
Let's look at this. Sense of self-superiority, godlike complex.
Yeah.
Short-fused, easily triggered.
Yeah.
Now obsessive and stalker-ish.
Well,
do I have to say anything more? Go away.
Group mod. Well, we're only group admins, but group moderators. Thank you guys for your willingness to help us to keep the peace and keep the calm. But just heads up.
I'm real glad. I just want to say that I'm real happy with the group that we just kind of started to accumulate and that stood up in our last meeting. I want to say that I was impressed, man. Not just with the amount of knowledge, but with the amount of compassion and capacity to care for others. That was refreshing, and I'm real proud of them so far. Like I hope that this first impression of them is a long-lasting one, because we had a nice little group. That one, I was really happy with them.
Oh, you're talking about the mastermind and the PMA.
Yeah, and the people that are doing the moderating now too. There's no.
We couldn't have asked for a better team.
Weird stuff.
Not at all, right? That's why I don't even go into the other groups anymore, because it's not worth it. We have everything that we need right here. I don't need to visit the other groups. It's just, I'm good. You guys keep that negativity and that nastiness and that interacting that way. It seems a bit dysfunctional, and I can't take it.
Distracting. Yeah,
I can't take it. So yeah, you're
and
right.
Confusing. When you have people who are like, no, don't do that. This is what you do. This is what you do. Because I'm right. Now all of a sudden you're like, dang, I thought I had it right, but maybe I don't.
Yeah. I can't take it anymore. It's just too much. So
it's funny though. It entertains me.
I mean, it's funny now, but imagine a beginner just starting.
No, that's not. Beginner.
Yeah, that's not funny for them. That's not fun at all. And I saw people being torn to shreds. Like, it was just unmerciful. Like, why? But anyway, enough of that. I need some lighting. It's getting dark over here. So anyway, guys, I'll leave the description, the links in the description box as per usual. Join the group, join the team. We'd love to have you. And it's very kind, it's very respectful, it's very loving, compassionate. You know, we're passionate people that we love to share, and that's who we want to network with. That's who we want to surround ourselves with. So if that's what
Lost your sound again. Well, everybody have a good day. Bye.